So you're watching the Carlisle's Picks Technology channel.
The test is complete. Unfortunately, I recorded this video without the sound. I'm using the magic lantern on the 60D. I did not set the audio levels, so I recorded this whole video with no sounds. I'm doing it over. But the clock stopped at about 4 hours, about 4 hours and 5 minutes. That is how long this G4 lasted. It's still even blinking right now, but the motor's completely off. 4 hours on the G4. Yeah. So that is pretty awesome. So the G4 is definitely the champion here. We are the champions. No. Okay, I can't sing. Anyway, but you have to consider the differences between the two products that we're testing here. This is a camera and a fancy pants gimbal. This is just a gimbal. Yes, there's a camera on here, but the camera is not relevant to the G4. The G4 uses its own power supply. There's 2 rechargeable batteries in here that power the gimbal. That's it. The camera is powered separately by its own battery. Right here, there's a GoPro battery in the back. So that's a big difference. This battery on the Osmo has to power a camera and a gimbal. How long did it last? Unfortunately, I messed up because the way I set this up, I had the Osmo facing the wrong way. Let's see. So the lights are on this side. I had it turned this way, and I thought that when it died, it would fall sideways because the motors are no longer holding up the camera. But apparently, it can hold itself in any position. I mean, any position you leave it, it'll stay. I thought it was just going to flop over, but it does not flop over. So I got to figure a way to test it. It doesn't seem like there's any position that's going to really make any difference. Anywhere I hold it, it's going to stay. So the only thing I can do is I can do a test with it facing this way so you can actually see the lights. And hopefully the lights will stop blinking. Well, they did stop blinking. So we'll know visually when it dies that way. Now, how long did it last? It lasted for... it died less than an hour. I don't know how close to an hour it got, but it definitely didn't last more than an hour. So we know the Osmo is not capable of lasting more than an hour. Keep in mind, this was totally stationary. So you're going to get less time actually using it because the more you use it, the more motor you're using, the more power you're using. So you have to think about whatever time that I'm getting is going to be more time than you're going to get in actual practical usage, right? So that means I'm going to guess and say you're probably getting maybe 45 minutes, just guessing 45 minutes out of this. I'm going to do the test again with the light so we can see for sure how much time you get on this. But my guess is 45 minutes, but we know definitely it does not last over an hour. You need to go down from an hour. Go down from that hour, and somewhere around there is going to be the time for this. As far as this, 4 hours. I'm even surprised. Apparently, that's why they call it G4. It's good for 4 hours. Oh, yeah. Good for 4 hours. That's what they call it G4. But you may say, but so what if the G4 lasts 4 hours? The camera doesn't. Good point. The camera only lasts maybe 45 minutes. Maybe an hour if you're lucky using Wi-Fi. I've heard maybe without the Wi-Fi, maybe you could get an hour and a half or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's a good estimate. I would say approaching an hour and a half without the Wi-Fi on. So this is lasting you way longer than this can. However, if you have extra batteries for the camera, which they're relatively cheap, then you can swap them out and practically shoot all day. But in theory, you could do the same thing with the Osmo. Only thing is, are the batteries actually available yet? It's a new product. I'm hearing accessories aren't available, but they may not be available right now. They're surely going to be available in the future. So the real thing is, what's the cost of the batteries, right? And, you know, because in theory, if you can get the batteries, they don't cost much money, then you can keep swapping out the batteries. But knowing that this lasts you less than an hour, that means to shoot for 3 hours, you're going to need 3 batteries. So it really depends on what the cost of those batteries are. If they're $60 a pop, you know, that's going to add up to a good amount of money. an investment. But hey, if this is a product that you really need, then maybe it's worth the money for you to buy 3 batteries. But just keep that in mind. You're going to be less than an hour. I'm saying considerably less than an hour probably running time with the Osmo. Again, we tested it static, so it's going to give you much more battery life than if you're actually using it. And this guy, good to go, man. Of course, while you're using one battery, that battery dies, you can
So you're watching the Carlisle's Picks Technology channel.